Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. This is Amanda Noddings. I am hosting the Team 360 call tonight. It is Monday of January 18th, 2016. And tonight we are going to talk about energy and this book right here. Let me see if I can change this so that it shows me instead of Sierra. Let's see. I don't know if I can make that happen or not, but I don't know why. Always has to be something. Anyway, okay. We'll just move this over here out of the way and leave it. And then that way you guys can see the slides too. So this book, I don't know if you've read it. This is called The Energy Bus. And it is by John Gordon. And I got it on audio, but I also ordered the book, and I'm glad I did. Any book I really like, I end up ordering the hard copy because I'm a person who likes real books. But this isn't just for like coaching business. This is for your whole life. It's all about positive energy and moving forward and getting the people that are like negative Nellies or sucking you dry off the bus and out of your life. So I'm going to read you a story, and this might be a little weird. This is a little unorthodox. It's not the normal way we do a call, but instead of just speaking freely to you guys, I'm going to read you a story, and it is The Energy Bus for Kids. Okay? And it's not like to dumb it down or anything. It's just because it's a more simple, like shortened version, but it has the same message. I bought this for my daughter, and I read it at Super Saturday, and to the coaches that I presented to in Spokane. We had about 70 people at my Super Saturday, and they all seemed to really take a good message from it, and I think you guys will too. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive in, and then we'll get into it a little, discuss it after, okay? So let's go. It was Monday, and Mondays were never good for George. He woke up tired and grumpy as usual. He got hooked on a video game. He had watched too much television the night before. He went to bed too late, and he had another fight with his sister, Georgette. His mom was upset because he was late, and he hadn't eaten his breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, she said. George knew she was right, but he was too tired and had to hurry to catch the bus. As George ran to the bus stop with his heavy backpack, he could see bus number 11 pulling away. George was so upset he wanted to cry, but he didn't. He just put his head down and wondered what else could go wrong today. Luckily, as the bus driver drove away, she saw George, stopped the bus, and yelled out the window, "I wouldn't leave you. Come on and get on the bus." The bus driver wasn't his usual bus driver. George had never seen her before. She said her name was Joy, and she had the biggest smile he had ever seen. He told her his name was George, and he sat down in the first seat. "What's got you down, and what's with the frown?" Joy asked. "Everything is going wrong," George said. "Well, that's okay, George. You're on my bus now, and I call it the Energy Bus. Sit down, and I'm going to teach you some rules that will take you on a positive ride through life." "Are you ready to learn the first rule?" Joy asked. "If you are, say yes 3 times. George and all the kids on the bus shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Rule number 1, create a positive vision. When you're on the bus going to school, start thinking about having a great day. When you're on the bus going home, picture yourself having a great night. When you think about your future, imagine yourself accomplishing your goals and dreams, Joy said. If you can see it, you can create it. If you have vision, then you also have the power to make it happen. As George waited for class to begin, he thought about what Joy had said about creating positive vision. He imagined himself getting an A+ on his spelling test today and hitting a home run in the baseball game on Saturday. He remembered his teacher telling him the importance of writing down your goals and drawing pictures of them. So George took out a big piece of paper and he drew a picture of his spelling test with a big A+ on the top. He also drew a picture of himself hitting a home run. George knew the pictures would help him remember his positive visions, so he folded his drawings and put them in his pocket. That afternoon, as George walked on the bus, Joy gave him a big smile and asked him to sit in the first seat again so they could talk. "How was school today?" she said. "Did you have a better day?" "It was a little better," answered George. "I felt happier, and I'm pretty sure I got at least an A on my spelling test. But after that, I had to deal with a bunch of challenges. I tripped in the hallway when I was walking to class. I couldn't find my math workbook. A few of the mean kids were doing their usual mean things. I got hit in the face with a soccer ball, and I had to go to the school nurse. It just wasn't a good day." "I understand," said Joy. "We all face challenges in life. That's why it's so important that you learn the next rule. If you want to know what it is, say yes 3 times with me." George and all the kids on the bus shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Rule number 2, fuel your ride with positive energy. "What's positive energy?" asked George. "It's the positive thoughts and emotions that you think and feel and share with others," said Joy. "It's smiles, laughter, gratitude, trust, faith, joy, happy thoughts, and beliefs. If you fuel up with positive energy, you will have the power to overcome challenges and achieve your goals." "But what if I don't feel positive?" asked George. "What if I feel negative?" "Well, that's the thing, George. You possess the greatest power in the world," said Joy. "It's the power to choose to be positive instead of negative. So what do you say we fuel up with lots of positive energy today on our way home?" "Yes, yes, yes," George and all the other students shouted. The children cheered so loud that the bus shook. Then, as the energy bus approached George's bus stop, Joy told George to think of a success from his day and share it with his parents at dinner time, maybe at bedtime. She said his success of the day could be one thing that made him smile and feel great. The next morning, George stepped on the bus feeling more positive than ever. "Someone is looking very happy today," Joy said, smiling at George. "I feel like my tank is full of positive energy," George said with a big smile on his face. "I love it, George. Make sure you keep filling your tank with positive energy throughout the day at school." Then she gave him a few tips to remember. Smile big, be thankful, and fuel yourself with positive beliefs. Then she asked George to repeat after her. "I am ready for a great day. I believe in myself, and I trust that I will accomplish my goals and dreams." Pretty heavy stuff for a little kid, huh? The energy bus pulled up to the school, and as George stepped off, he was ready to take on the day. As he walked towards the building, he heard Joy cheer. "Remember, George, if you fuel up with positive energy, you can go as far as you can dream. So dream big, George." You would think that George stepped on the bus that afternoon full of positive energy, but he didn't. Instead, he walked on looking very sad and very upset. "What's the matter? What happened to my little positive energy guy?" Joy asked. "I did everything you said. I fueled up with positive energy, but that didn't stop the bullies at school from teasing me and embarrassing me," George said with tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry you had to deal with bullies," said Joy. "I was bullied when I was a kid, and it sure didn't feel good." Joy then raised her voice for the entire bus to hear and said, "Listen up, kids. Don't be a bully. Don't be mean. Don't say hurtful things to others. It will take you down the negative road in life. Instead, choose to be kind and choose to travel down the positive road." Joy then turned to George and said, "Bullies are just one of the many types of negative people you will have to face in life. Some may say negative things about you. Others feel so bad about themselves that they try and make you feel bad too. Rather than driving their own bus, They're trying to ruin everyone else's ride. That's why I want you to remember the next rule, said Joy as she picked up a piece of paper on the dashboard and held it up for George and everyone to see. Rule number 3, no bullies allowed. This means you stay strong and positive and know that the bullies can't drain your positive energy if you don't let their negativity into your mind. Negativity comes in many forms, but positivity is so much more powerful than negativity. The key is to become more positive than whatever the negative is that you have to face. I understand, said George. The energy bus approached his bus stop. He walked off the bus and he realized that he needed to be more positive than the bullies were negative. He also knew he needed a plan if he was going to neutralize the bullies, and he hoped Joy would have some ideas for him tomorrow. The next morning, when George got back on the bus, he took his seat near Joy. Joy smiled at him and told him that she'd been thinking all night about how to deal with the bullies at school. Good, because I need a plan, said George. Well, I have a plan for you, said Joy. First, you avoid them. Do your best to stay away from any bullies that try to zap your positive energy. Second, when they're mean to you, confront them and say, you are bullying me. Stop it. Stop bullying me and walk away. Then picture yourself driving your bus, shutting the door on their faces so they can't get on and their words can't affect your ride. This is my very favorite part because I just picture these people who are saying the things that just get in your head, and I'm like, peace out, bitches. I'm on the bus. So anyway, this is my favorite. Third, tell your parents, your teacher, and your principal. No one should have to deal with bullying. It's wrong. You guys probably don't need that part. And fourth, oops, that's it. Okay, I'll try my best, said George as he walked off the bus towards the building where the bullies would be waiting for him in the hallway. When the bullies saw George, they began teasing him, but George was ready. He stayed positive, told himself to be strong, and told them to stop bullying him. Then George pictured himself shutting the bus on them and keeping them off his bus as he walked away. He could hear the teasing continue, but he didn't let it bother him. In the past, he had allowed them on his bus, but not today. Today, he kept them off his bus, and he felt more positive than ever. The minute the school bell rang, he ran to the bus to tell Joy, "It worked! It worked!" He cheered. "I'm so happy for you," said Joy. "Positive energy is a powerful thing." And do you know what the most powerful form of positive energy in all the world is? Asked Joy. "I don't know," said George. "What is it?" "It's love. And it's so powerful that it's part of the very next rule I want to share with you. Rule number 4, love your passengers. This means that you become a powerful force of positive energy and you share your love with your passengers. "Well, who are my passengers?" asked George. "They're your fellow students, your friends, your teachers, your siblings, your family, anybody you interact with every day. Love everybody, George. Be kind, help others, and make a difference. When you show kindness to others, you attract kindness like a magnet. You surround yourself with so much positive energy that negativity doesn't even affect you," Joy said. "Most importantly, when you put love into action, you change the world one loving act at a time." The energy bus then pulled up to George's stop. And as he walked away from the bus, he waved to Joy and decided he was going to start showing kindness and love to the passengers at home. That night, George spent extra time petting his dog. He was kinder to his sister, and he told his mom he loved the dinner she made. The next morning, he made sure to wake up on time and eat his breakfast because he knew it would make his mom happy. At school, George smiled more and encouraged those who were having a bad day. He shared his lunch with a girl who forgot hers at home. He was extra kind to a girl that everyone teased, and it made her smile. He helped a boy who dropped his books in the hallway. George was so kind and so positive that the bullies just stayed away from him, and he was surrounded by other positive kids. When George walked on the bus that afternoon with a big smile on his face, he told Joy that he knew the next rule of the energy bus. "What's that, George?" she asked. "It's to enjoy the ride," he said. He had learned that when you follow the energy bus rules, you will enjoy the ride a whole lot more. Rule number 5, enjoy the ride. George then pulled out a picture he had made in art class, and he gave it to Joy. She looked at the picture and smiled. It was a picture that listed the 5 rules of the energy bus. Create a positive vision. Fuel your ride with positive energy. No bullies allowed. Love your passengers and enjoy the ride. I like the bully. "I made one picture for you and one for our school," said George. "I shared the picture with our principal, and now she's going to share the rules with all the other teachers and all the other students. Well, George, I will display this picture proudly on my bus for all my future passengers to see. And I will tell them about you and how you chose to fuel your bus with positive energy." Joy already knew what others would find out. George was no longer just a passenger on a bus. He had become a positive driver who would change the world. George would share the energy bus rules with others through his words and actions, and they would learn what Joy had taught them. The energy bus will surely take you on the ride of your life. Then it says, beep, beep, the end. So that's it. That's the story. And I'm going to go ahead and close these slides. And I just want to talk for a little bit about how this applies to our business, because I didn't really just want to read you a children's story, but I wanted you to know, to think about how this can apply to your business and what it can do for you. So I know that I saved in here. Move this over. You guys can still see my screen, right? Yeah, I'm going to show you the 10 rules of the energy bus from the grown-up version. Energy bus rules. Here we are. Look at that. Right where I want it. Maybe I need to do it here. Just one second. So we're going to go over each of these rules real quick. And these are all found in the adult version of this book. But, oh man, it's going to be kind of blurry. So I'll do my best, but I'll read them out loud for you guys and for the ones on the phone. So rule number 1, you are the driver of your bus. So what does that mean? This is your business. You get to do whatever you want with it. And even if you're not in this for the business, if you're just on a fitness journey, if you're just a person in life, this is your bus and you're the driver. So remember that. You're in charge of where you're going. You're in charge of what's happening. Nobody else. So take some accountability and responsibility for that and take charge. You're the driver. Number 2, desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. So you have to have all 3 of those things. So your desire is what you want, and your vision is what you see for the future, and your focus is how you're going to hone in to get to that place. Rule number 3, fuel your ride with positive energy. I think that whole story was kind of just about that. And it's really so true. If you are letting negative things in, it's detracting your energy and your bus is going to stall. So you need to fuel your ride with positive energy. And if that means waking up and listening to something positive, if that means eating healthy food so you're fueled for the day, if that means talking to someone that gives you that positive energy and really inspires you, if that means taking 10 minutes to read your Bible in the morning because it puts your head in the right place, whatever that is for you, you need to fuel your ride with positive energy, because if you fuel it with negativity, your bus is going to show it. Number 4, invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. So obviously you want to share, if you're looking at this from a business perspective, you want to share with people what you're doing. And if you're positive and loving and just really enjoying it, that's going to come through. If you want to share the thing that I think we forget to do is to share your vision for the road ahead. So I want to be a 5-star elite coach this year. And that means that I need 5 diamond coaches on my team. And if I don't tell anyone that, then they don't know that's my goal. And it's something we can only do together. So I'm looking for 5 diamonds, and that's my goal for the end of year next year. Now, I have to make sure and share that with them so they see where we're going, because if you walk up to a bus and it says, on the front or the side of the bus, it says, this is Route 42, it's going to Bothell, or this is Route 21, it's going to the downtown center. And if you got up to one and it just had question marks there, would you get on it? Would you put your $2 in and get on the bus and just hope it went somewhere you wanted to go? No, you're going to want to know where it's going, or you're not going to want to pay the fare and you're not going to want to ride the ride. So where is it you're driving your bus? Me personally, I'm all about driving to a positive place where my challengers, my customers, my coaches feel loved, supported, healthier, and happier. And we're going to do our best to get them there. And if that's their goal, they should get on my bus. And if they want to get on and cry and whine, they can go get on someone else's bus. Number 5, don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. So this was a huge thing for me, especially when I first started. Well, actually, not when I first started. A lot of coaches I see have a problem with this when they first start, because they take it too personally. When they want to invite someone and they don't want to do what they're doing, it hurts their feelings. And I didn't really struggle with that in the beginning. I had a confidence in what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was doing at all. And I was just sharing it and throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something stuck, and maybe there was a noodle or 2 there, I would gobble them up. But where I did experience this was when I was in 2-star diamond qualifying. I was on my 5th week, and my diamond decided to move cities. And she said, I'm just going to put everything on hold while I move, and maybe I'll pick it up after I get settled in. And you have to hold your 2-star, which means you have a diamond coach under you on each side. You have to hold that for 6 weeks. And I was at 5 weeks, and I had worked so hard, and I was so close. And it also meant a huge financial bonus for me, for my family. It meant going to a leadership conference and having it paid. It meant opening a second business center. It meant a lot of things to me. And it also meant that I was successfully leading a team and creating some diamonds of my own. And I was all in. I was so invested in those people emotionally. And when she told me she was putting everything on hold, it wasn't right for her at the time. It shattered me. It just shattered me. It was so hard. All I could think was, oh my gosh, well, maybe if I do this, or maybe if I keep talking to her, or maybe, and this one is so close to Emerald, maybe I can talk to her into doing it, and she could get to Diamond in time to take this one's place, and how could I scramble, and what can I do? I couldn't do anything else. And so I let that get me. That rule says, don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. And what it did was it sucked my energy out until I felt defeated and deflated and like a failure. And I dropped all the way down. Well, I maintained a 1-star diamond for a long time, but I never was able to get back to where I was. And after a few months, I ended up dropping, I think within 6 months, I was all the way back to Emerald. It was crushing. So don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. Number 6, post a sign that says, not no bullies allowed. This says no energy vampires allowed on your bus. So if you don't know what an energy vampire is, I'm going to tell you. An energy vampire is a person who sucks you dry. They're a succubus. They're a leech. They ask you for help, and they don't listen to what you say. They tell you they're all in, and then they aren't at all. Now that doesn't mean that they tell you they don't really want to go for it, and then you try and force it on them. That's not the same thing. An energy vampire is someone that every time you talk to them, maybe you feel worse than you did before. And maybe you're related to them. Maybe it's someone you're married to who's having problems, and every time it's around, It weighs you down and it bothers you. Maybe it's a parent who's constantly asking you what the hell you're thinking doing this business. Maybe it's a friend who's bigger than you, and when she sees you starting to get healthy, she tells you that you're crazy and this is a scam or a gimmick or a pyramid scheme or whatever else. Energy vampires come in all forms, whether you're talking about your fitness or your personal journey. And I have a little story. I'm going to expand on that. That is from Darren Hardy, talks about the crabs. And if you heard this, I'm sorry to bore you, but this is crazy to me. There are these crabs, right? These crabs that people catch, and they're really difficult to catch. They can climb up the sides of every wall. They have these claws. They can arrange their legs in all different ways, and they can use all 8 of their legs to climb out, little creepy little water spiders, climb out of any cage. So people catch these crabs by these huge cratefuls, right? And how do they do that? How do we catch them when they're so maneuverable and they're so skilled and they can climb upside down at the surface of the slipperiest rock? I don't know how we just throw a box in the ground and catch crates of crabs. I'll tell you how. They use one small piece of bait, just a little, not enough to catch 1,000 crabs, enough to catch one crab. And when the crab goes in to eat that bait, another one sees it and says, oh, I wonder what he's doing down there. He must have some food down there. Maybe there's a little left. He's like, I'm going to go in there too. Then the next crab comes along. Well, what are they doing down there? I want to go check it out. And he goes in. Now, at this point, there's no food left in the crate. There's no more bait. Yet bless you, Sarah. Yet the crabs continue to climb in and fill the crate until there's hundreds and thousands of them in there. But there's no food. And you'd think that they'd be smart enough to be like, well, I'm not going down there. That sandwich is gone, right? Wrong. What happens when one crab tries to climb out? You won't believe this. Maybe you'll believe this because you've heard this. They start to clip at it and knock it down. The other crabs, they say, I don't know where you think you're going, but we're here and you're staying. And they clip at it. And if he still tries to climb out, they cut his legs off. Can you believe that? And then if he still tries to climb out, they kill him. It's freaky. It freaks me out. And then the fisherman can come back a week later and have 1,000 crabs in this box because they're all sitting there with no bait left, but they sure as heck don't want to see anyone else get out because that reminds them and reflects to them that they don't know why they're here or why they're doing something that isn't working, but they don't want to see someone else get out of that same situation. So remember that in your business. Those are energy vampires. And in your fitness journey too. I have a friend still to this day that has been one of my best friends since I was 5, yet she will occasionally say something to me, not to me directly, just on her wall, and I take it personally, or I used to, and it says like, oh, I'm so happy for my friends that are losing weight, but I sure wish you weren't all suckers, and you would research the word pyramid scheme. Oh, like knife to the heart, like, oh, we've been best friends since we were 5, and she's over 250 pounds, and she needs my help. And she is the last person who will ever take it from me, and I won't even offer it to her. You know why? Because I don't want her on my bus, because she's an energy vampire. When she's ready, I'll help her. But in the meantime, I just scroll right past. Bye, Felicia. That doesn't apply to me. All right, let's move on. Maybe that's my favorite rule. Number 7, enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride. Okay? So you can say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I don't know if you want to do it, but maybe you want to join or you want to hear more about it. Go ahead and ask me. Or you can focus on the energy and be positive and say, dude, I am doing this thing. That is awesome. It is changing my life. I am enjoying it. I'm seeing results. I'm having fun. I'm meeting amazing people, and I hope you want to give it a shot. And if not, cool. But I'm happy about it. I'm positive and I'm energized about it. And people are going to be attracted to that because you know what? Everybody's looking for that. Everybody needs what you have to offer, which is positivity and support. And that doesn't mean be super fake, like Debbie cheerleader, like, hi, oh my God, like totally, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in the world. You should totally do it. No, that's not me. That's like as far from me as you can get. But I will say, like, dude, this has changed my life. I feel so much better. And if you want to hear about it, I'm happy to tell you about it because it works. So just remember that enthusiasm attracts people and like attracts like. And if you're just going to leave the enthusiasm and excitement and positivity out of it, and then you're going to wonder why no one's talking to you. That's why. Number 8, love your passengers. That goes for the coaches on your team. That goes for the challengers that you sign up. Don't be that coach that signs someone up and doesn't help them or support them. Be in it with them. Even if you're on your journey, you can still love and support your passengers. Even if that just means checking in and saying, hey, how's it going today? I hope you're doing well. Or, hey, how are you doing on your menu? Do you need a couple recipe ideas? Whatever. Just love your passengers. If you give that back to them, you will be worth your weight in gold, because I can count the amount of people who give me love on a daily basis on these 10 fingers. And how many people can you be one of those fingers for? That's weird, but you know what I mean. Number 9, drive with a purpose, okay? That kind of goes back to the number 1, that you're the driver of the bus. Don't just wander aimlessly around on the road, driving and taking wrong turns and taking the scenic route, because there might be something interesting over there. You know where you're going. You know what you want to do, and you know what your goal is. So drive towards that, focus on it, and you will get where you want to be. And everyone on your bus will arrive there with you. And if they don't, because they chose to get off, you leave them behind without feeling bad. You say, thanks, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. I'll give you a lift sometime if you want to get back on. But for now, see you later. We can't stop because I have a goal. I have to get to point B by a certain time. And if I stop and segue over here with you down the trail of negativity, I might get off track. So, hey, see you later. Drive with a purpose. This is where you're going. Focus on that. And number 10, have fun and enjoy the ride. This is fun. When I wake up and get a message from someone that says something that touches my heart, it makes every single moment worth it all. When I get a message from a challenger right before this call starts, and I tell you, like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do okay on this call. I don't know if I'm going to do this or do that. And someone sends me a picture and says, well, this girl's been checking in with me almost daily. And she told me that she's on a heart monitor. She has all these health conditions. I don't want to go into too many details, but I'll tell you what. She told me that her doctor has her on an overnight monitor to watch her heart also. She's had like 5 different surgeries. He said her heart looks better after the first week of her doing my group than it has since he's been her doctor in 1 week. Now, week 2, she tells me that she feels more clarity. She feels better. She has more energy. Today, she tells me that she decided to push herself harder than last week since her heart did so well. She pushed herself hard and she felt great. Thank you so much. I feel so much better since I started this. I appreciate you so much, and everything you do is amazing. Here's another one that came in right through the call. She might even be on this call. I don't know who all is on here. And it says, I don't know how you manage to support everyone in your life. Something like that. But she just said that I had sent her a card, and she said it was really thoughtful. And the fact that I took time to think of her was touching. I don't know how you find time to take care of literally every single person in your life. These messages like warm my heart and fuel me from the inside. It fuels my ride. It reaffirms my purpose. It tells me that I'm driving the right direction on my bus and I'm doing the right thing. So that's what I want you to take from this. It wasn't just about a children's story, but it's about how to apply this to your whole life and how you can make it something that will change the way you feel. I'm choking up right now just saying it because this is so much more than an income opportunity. It's a life-changing opportunity. So I hope that you guys all got something useful out of that. And I will open it up for questions now. If anybody has something to say, you can unmute yourself, speak up, tell me, give me some feedback, anything you want. Nobody's saying nothing. Anybody? Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody. All right.
Hello.
Hello. You're all unmuted. Does anyone have anything to say?
This is Sierra. Hold up. Can you see me?
I can.
Okay. Someone talking?
That's just background noise probably from
Oh, okay. I just didn't want to talk over anyone. Anyway, I really appreciate you sharing this. One of my old boss from work shared the energy bus with me and actually got it for all of his employees as gifts. And so it's kind of cool that you touched on it. But I really appreciate you. I really enjoy you. I don't know if I'm sure you get that all the time, but I don't have any questions. I've been putting my baby down this whole time, but I just wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed your message tonight.
Thank you. I hope it was somewhat helpful. And it just goes to show, like, personal development. It really is a big thing. It really makes a big difference. And the times when I have done better at it or worse at it definitely are reflected in how I feel. So for sure.
Do you mind if I ask, what personal development did you turn to after the whole losing your diamond status? Because it sounds like it was a pretty
it was very traumatic. It was a sad day. I'm trying to think, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I know Tanya will say, I know at this time I was doing this exact thing and this thing helped me do that. I don't really have that. I have ones that I revert to that always help me in a different way, like the compound effect has helped me a bazillion times. I know I really enjoyed also by Darren Hardy, I enjoyed the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. When I went to the leadership retreat, I got it on audio disc and I listened to it the whole drive there. It was an 8.5-hour drive for me to get to that retreat. And I listened to the CD the entire time. And I even pulled over on the freeway a couple times so I could write notes down without driving off the road because it was speaking to me that much. And then on the way home, I listened to it again because it was that good. So that is something that probably wouldn't have helped me as much in the beginning because it's more focused on being a team builder and a leader and like the ups and downs of this business. But it really did help me in the end during that scenario. And, like the slight edge to me is okay, but I'm just such a Darren Hardy proponent with the compound effect. When I was starting to learn about my fitness, I think that was the biggest thing. Like those small things over time add up, and that was huge for me. And that applied to my business and my fitness, my everything else. And also remembering that the negative things over time add up continuously.
Definitely. How long have you been coaching?
It'll be 2 years on March 15th.
Nice.
How far back do I want to go?
Anybody else?
Because she's been a little fucking brat.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys all go. It's 7:45. We started at 7:07. I think that's probably a record for my long-winded self. So hopefully it was useful. And then I'll post the recording in Team 360 and Team Driven, my team page. And if you have any questions, put them below there. I'm happy to answer them. I'll keep an eye on it tonight as it gets put up and see if anyone has any follow-up stuff. Maybe they just didn't have time or couldn't unmute to talk. But anyway, I hope it's helpful, and I love you guys, and I hope you just rock out January. Remember that you get a couple quick announcements. You get to register for the Success Club trip tomorrow. I highly recommend you do it and put yourself on the list. You never know, but if you set that as a goal, that's how you're going to get there. Where you're driving your bus, man. And then also remember that you get double points for that trip, double dollars for the trip in January. So you want to hit Success Club 10 this month, I promise you. And I made it a goal this year to really focus in on getting back to what I used to do, which was hitting Success Club under myself and my husband. And so I am at 12 or 13 now under me and 6 under him. So I highly recommend you set your goals high. People ask me all the time how I hit Success Club 10 and Success Club 5. And I will tell you right now, the only reason is because I never set Success Club 5 as a goal. Ever. The very first month I got 8 and I was only a coach for 2 weeks.
What is your issue?
So, all right, you guys, have a great night. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Amanda.
Bye.
This family.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the story.
Too loud. I'm like, it's like racking my brain, and I feel bad because